What occurs to me here is that many of these speakers are actually people who work for organisations that are funded by the taxpayer. This guy, the Scottish Refugee Council, he's the CEO of it, Sabir Zazai. I don't know what he's on, but you can easily see here, you can easily see that Scottish Government funding of 3.6 million has been given here, will support Scottish Refugee Council's support service, blah, 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 to help people access health, housing, welfare, etc. That's 3.6 million for a branch of the Scottish Refugee Council for the coming year. Okay, now the next person here from Mhill Integration Network, Panir Aksu. Now, again, it takes you 5 minutes on the internet. You find out Mhill Integration Network is funded by, look who, in the top there, the Scottish Government. That means they're funded by us. Now, I haven't looked in these other groups, the Community Fund, that's the National Lottery. The British government funds the Paul Hamlyn Foundation, even though the Paul Hamlyn Foundation is $1 billion foundation. So how much of the money that we've given to the Paul Hamlyn Foundation is going to the Mhill Integration Network? Then down in the bottom there, you've got Maryhill Housing. That's the Housing Association. Now, I know that they do get money from Holyrood on a regular basis. Okay, so my point here, let's take that off for a moment. My point here is that some of these groups may be doing necessary work. For example, the Mhill Integration Network. Perhaps there is a need to show people who happen to be living in the area what to do and how to go about stuff and so on. However, if you get funded by the Scottish Government, the least we should expect is that you don't start campaigning politically against political parties that you don't like. Okay? And if you do that, you should be defunded. Okay? If you're getting money to help refugees, that's one thing. And there may be a case that you should get some money to do that. But if you're going to take that money that we've given you to do that and campaign in your day job against registered, legitimate political parties in our democracy to try to defeat them, then that's a complete, that's completely wrong. Completely wrong. And so that has to stop. And we've written a policy on this, and let me just quickly run through it before I bring Luca on in a couple of minutes. Our defunding of NGOs and charities policy. Your group, this is what we would say if we were in power. This is what Reform UK should be saying if they get MSPs into Holyrood next year. Your group may be serving a certain purpose in, for example, helping some people with some temporary assistance to integrate locally, which may or not be part of your core mission statement. However, the red line is when your group has, or you move your group to adopt a political agenda which promotes more immigration and asylum and or actively campaigns against a restrictionist government policy on these matters, such as but not limited to campaigning in any manner for more immigration and asylum and resisting deportation. And if your group, charity or NGO is in receipt of government funding and you are engaging in this activity, then you shall be defunded entirely of such taxpayers' money with immediate effect. And it's not even controversial to say that, because from the perspective of the government, it makes no sense for it to fund groups which actively oppose its policies. And from the perspective of the group in question, it should not imagine it can bite the hand that feeds it without consequences. Okay. Now we're going to revisit that policy and we're going to add campaigning democratically, campaigning against democratic parties at elections. That's also well out of order, well out of order. So that's coming up. We're going to have, we won't be doing anything at it, but we're going to have to witness the spectacle of people who are getting paid by us to campaign against political parties that they don't like on our taxpayers' dime. What an indignity this is. What an indignity. And if Reform get any MSPs in, then I would hope that one of the things that reform should be doing in Holyrood is looking at who's getting taxpayers' money from Holyrood and for what reasons, and actively campaigning to the extent that they can to stop it and prohibit it unless those particular guidelines are put into operation.